I didn't get nominated and I'm okay. You know, I didn't get nominated for The Butler and I'm okay. I didn't get nominated for Precious and I'm okay. The minute you start worrying about a nomination, you're in the wrong, you're wrong.
So, Lee, I would be lying to you if I told you I purposely timed this podcast to the day that the Golden Globe nominations were being announced. I did not. So, I get the really amazing timing award for having you on, especially considering that one of your actors in one of your more recent projects, that would be the United States versus Billie Holiday, which I watched a couple nights ago. I could spend this whole podcast just talking about that movie. Unfortunately, you have had such a expansive career. I can't. I'm gonna have to move on to other things I'm also curious about. But nevertheless, it is an amazing performance by Andra Day, who has been nominated in the Best Performance by an Actor category for drama. And so I get to ask you in the moment, how does it feel to see Andra Day celebrated in this way?
Surreal, surreal. I'm so happy for her. She worked so hard on it. We worked so hard on it. So I'm really happy that I'm so happy that she got honored.
And to give people an idea of the degree of difficulty, this is Andra's first major role, correct?
This is her first role ever.
Yeah, first role ever.
She's never acted before. So that was crazy, trying to figure that one out, knowing whether or not knowing whether she could or couldn't, and not really knowing that I wanted her, and her not really knowing that she wanted to do it. And then finding each other, and then just spending some spiritual time together, connecting as one, and both worshiping Billie and really wanting to do her right. So I think that she had that in common with me. I had interviewed so many name actors, celebrities that were good, really good, but they didn't have the spirit of Billie, and Andra's spirit was there. So I sent her to an acting coach, and I sent her to my friend that's a vocal coach, and we worked really hard on a year on perfecting the performance. So I'm really excited about it.
So before we dive deeper into the performance she gave in the movie itself, of course, naturally, when these award nominations come out, there is always a look at who didn't get a nomination. We have Regina King, who became the second Black woman in history to earn a Golden Globe nomination for Best Director. Ava DuVernay was the first, of course. But you also have Michaela Cole, and who's the creator and star of I May Destroy You, and Spike Lee, and Delroy Lindo, and Defy Bloods, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Judas and the Black Messiah, One Night in Miami. None of them were nominated for Best Picture, and Delroy Lindo was completely shut out, as was, as I said, Michaela Cole. So seeing all of that, especially, every year you could argue, or many years there have been a particularly good year for Black film and television, but really, especially this year, considering what we as consumers have been, able to see. What do you make of all this? The fact that all of those, with the exceptions that I pointed out, were not nominated.
I didn't get nominated and I'm okay. I didn't get nominated for The Butler and I'm okay. I didn't get nominated for Precious and I'm okay. The minute you start worrying about a nomination, you're in the wrong, you're wrong. It's wrong. I think that it is the media and everybody else that's sort of worried about but I think that it would be great to get a nomination. For me, it would be really great to get a nomination just so I could make my mom happy. But I think that I can't speak for Spike and I can't speak for the others. But it is what it is. And I think that as Trump would say, but I think that the Golden Globes in particular is a very it's politics. It has nothing to do with Best Movie. It has nothing to do with Best Actor. They're serving studios. They're serving celebrity. I don't know what they're serving. They're serving the HFPA cause. And it's and they're entitled to think whatever they want to think, you know. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, for me, it's always been a question that I've had for all of my films, you know. Like, I'm responsible for the first Black woman getting an Oscar. I'm responsible for the first Black writer getting an Oscar. So I'm awarded, and but I also know that it's a real game of politics, and it's messy. It's messy, and it is what it is, as Trump would say. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you. I don't do it for the awards. I don't do it for the awards.
To play the other side of this a little bit, do you think it's easier for you to say that because you have been awarded?
Yes, it is.
And I get it. It's a slippery slope, because as a creator, most creators, I assume, are not in this for validation, but yet at the same time, it's got to feel good.
It is nice about being validated. Here's the reality. I mean, like, you know, we worked our asses off on The Butler, and we got nothing, you know. And I think that began the conversation for Oscars So White, for films to become awarded or become. So if you're if you are doing your job, you can only do as a filmmaker, I can only do my job. I can only do the best I can to, I hope, make you happy with what you're seeing. And white people are going to vote a white way. You know, they're not going to see the lens the way we see the lens. They simply don't see the lens. Why is this even a topic of conversation? It's a given. You know, I mean, who Black is on that committee? I want to know. I'm just asking, you know, how can they possibly understand our cinema to judge it? So it's a futile conversation. it's, you know, I don't care, you know, I don't care. For my mom, I care, because she's so into this whole thing.
Right. Well, I mean, I assume, as somebody who's just been doing it as well as you have for as long as you have, I mean, you know, when you put something good on the screen, regardless of whether or not the Hollywood Foreign Press Association says it is or not, you don't need their validation. Because whether or not
but I am happy that she got it. That's a big deal for a woman like that had never, and I have to look at myself too, like, you know, like, I'm responsible for a lot of first time, you know, actors getting nominations, Golden Globe nominations. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal for her first job to come out, and I've had it happen before. So it's exciting. I'm here to celebrate it. I'm really excited for her.